Hi there. I'm going to go ahead and do my brachial plexus breakdown video. I have been practicing a lot on my iPad, which is down here, because it's just a lot easier for me than having a bunch of papers. So hopefully that's okay. I have it on screen share, and then I have my camera is down here on the bottom of my screen so I can see myself. So hopefully you can see myself or see me. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So obviously the first part is the roots, which consist of C5, C6, C7, oops, C8, and T1. And I am not a very good artist. I recorded this one time before and it just did not look good with my drawing. None of the branches in the end looked anything like an M. So this is me doing it a second time, but bear with me. I am no artist. And so there's two nerves that stem from the roots. The first is the dorsal scapular nerve, which is going to innervate the rhomboid major, the rhomboid minor, as well as the levator or levator scapulae. I'm not confident on which it is, so I'm just going to say both. And I'm also not going to write the innervations, if that's okay, just because in previous trials of practicing, it just took up so much space because my handwriting is pretty large. So I'm just going to say them out loud if that's okay. So yeah, as you can see, we have C5 and C6 together. C7 is hanging by itself, and then C8 and T1 are also together. And so that second nerve is going to be a combination of fibers from C5, C6, and C7. Oops, and that got a little shaky at the end. Sorry. And then this is going to be our long thoracic nerve, which is going to innervate the serrated anterior. Yeah, and then so I don't know if I mentioned this, but the nerves before the divisions are called the subclavicular nerves because they come before the clavicle, which makes sense. Okay, and then so from there, we're gonna have our trunks. C5 and C6 are gonna form the upper trunk. C7, it's gonna be our middle trunk. And then C8 and T1 are gonna create our lower trunk. The upper trunk here has two nerves of its own. We have the suprascapular, which is going to innervate the infraspinatus as well as the supraspinatus. And then we have the nerve to the subclavius, which, you guessed it, is going to innervate the subclavius. Yeah, so from there, we're gonna have our divisions, and I'm already can tell I'm starting to draw a little bit big, so I'm gonna try and cut that down a little bit. I'm gonna rewrite these if that's okay. There we go. Also, part of my handwriting, it's pretty shaky right now. But yeah, so we're gonna have our divisions now, which are gonna branch out like this. I can already tell I might have to redraw them just because I want them to look kind of decently nice and organized, but and then the lower. For the upper and middle trunks, we're gonna have anterior posterior divisions. Oh, that looks not great. Here we go, posterior, but then our lower is gonna be posterior anterior. So first off, all three posterior divisions are going to come together and they're going to form. I'm going to make this a slight bit thicker so that way you can see it. They're going to come together and they're going to form the posterior cord. We're in cords now. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry. I'm a little OCD about my handwriting, if you can't tell. There we go. So yeah, we got the posterior cord, and then the anterior cord of the middle and the upper division are gonna come together as well. And that's gonna make our lateral cord up here. And then the anterior, oh, I don't know what just happened. The anterior cord is just gonna hang out by itself down there. And that's gonna be our medial cord. So there we go, there's our cords. There are nerves on each of the cords. The lateral is going to have the lateral pectoral nerve, which is going to innervate the pectoralis major. It's going to be cutting close, as you can see on the side. Sorry, the posterior cord has three different nerves. It has the upper scapularis, the lower scapularis, which is going to innervate the subscapularis, as well as the teres major. And then I don't know if I mentioned, but the upper scapularis is going to innervate the subscapularis. And the last one is going to be our thoracodorsal. That's a hard one to say. Thoracodorsal, which is going to innervate the latissimus dorsi, sorry. Yeah, and then finally, our medial cord also has three nerves. The first is the medial cutaneous, I'm so sorry, I'm a little camera shy, a little nervous. It's the medial brachial cutaneous. And I'm just going to abbreviate these if that's okay. And then we also have the medial antebrachial cutaneous, and then these are both going to innervate the skin because they're cutaneous. And then the last one is the medial pectoral, which is going to innervate both the pectoralis major and the pectoralis minor. So yeah, that's our cords. And then I also don't know if I mentioned, but all of the nerves after the division, they're called the infraclavicular nerves because they're coming after the clavicle. But yeah, anyway, so we're going to get to our final part, which is the branches. I'm going to try and squeeze it all into this little space that I left for myself. So the lateral is just going to have one ending nerve over here. It's our, zoom in for this, musculocutaneous nerve. And then the posterior cord is going to have two nerves. We're going to have the axillary nerve, or axillary, as well as the radial. And then down here at the medial cord, we're also going to have two. The ulnar nerve is going to come from, it's This is not a very good drawing of this, but it's gonna have fibers come down from the lateral branch as well, crossing over the posterior cord. And this is gonna create our ulnar nerve. And then finally at the bottom, we have our median nerve. And so, yeah, that is a very kind of poorly drawn version of the brachial plexus. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. You said, thankfully, that we didn't have to say all the innervations of the final nerves, which thank you for that. But just to go over the musculocutaneous, that is going to be the in the lateral aspect of the antebrachial, as well as the biceps brachii or brachii. I'm sorry, again, I'm not 100% confident in my like pronunciation of things. Yeah, but what was I said, the musculocutaneous, the axillary nerve, that is going to be in our posterior deltoid region, and then the radial nerve is going to be in the posterior antebrachial and brachial region. The ulnar nerve, that's going to be on the posterior third of our hand, on the thumb or the pinky side. And then the median nerve, that's going to be kind of like in the carpal tunnel region on the posterior aspect of the wrist. But yeah, so I think I got all of the nerves in there. Yeah. So yeah, I actually really enjoyed doing this assignment. I found it really helpful. So thank you for that. And then I'll see you in class on Tuesday. Thank you.